A simple woman is laughed at for her scars. Until a veteran freezes at her unit tattoo. Brenda stared at her reflection in the bathroom mirror, twisting her hair around her fingers. She was getting ready to go out when she caught sight of the red marks left by her tight jeans. She sighed, knowing that these new jeans were not good for her skin. Even though they made her look fantastic, the fabric was too tight, and it would leave marks on her body. At 32 years old, Brenda felt like an old woman, not only because of the way her body looked, but also because of all the scars she had. She had one on her face, her arm, her leg, and even a few on her back. They were memories of a past life that she desperately wanted to forget, and the way people treated her because of those scars made her feel like an ancient relic. It hadn't always been this way. Before the accident, Brenda was a model and she took great pride in her appearance. But after being burned alive by her ex-boyfriend, her whole life changed. First, the doctor spent months trying to save her life. Then, once she woke up from her coma, they told her that she was lucky to be alive. And then she saw herself. Her entire left side was covered in bandages. The doctors said they did everything they could, but her whole left arm was just too damaged. They tried their best, but it didn't work out. After several weeks, they removed the bandages to show her the results. She lost her arm below the elbow, but it wasn't over yet. She still had second-degree burns on her face and chest, as well as multiple third-degree burns on her torso, abdomen, and legs. It took 8 surgeries and countless hours of skin grafting before she was finally sent home. 6 months after the incident, her injuries were almost fully healed, but her nightmares still persisted. People stared at her when she went out in public and whispered behind her back, "Freak, burn girl, mutated arm." Those words hit her hard. She couldn't take it anymore. So she locked herself in her room for the next 3 years. She had to learn how to walk again, use a prosthetic limb, and live with constant pain. She felt like she was cursed. Her whole body was covered with scars. But she was tired of hiding from the world. She decided to join a support group for burn victims. And things started looking up for her. One day, she met a guy named Mike, who became her boyfriend. He was handsome, funny, and very supportive. He never seemed to notice her scars. Well, except for the one on her face. That one he often kissed. For the first time since the accident, she felt like someone loved her for who she was. After dating for 2 years, Mike proposed to her, and she accepted. When she walked down the aisle towards him, tears streaming down her face, she heard some snickers from the audience. People were whispering again. What was supposed to be the happiest day of her life turned into another nightmare. 3 years later, she got pregnant and gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Finally, something good happened to her. Her little girl was born without any health issues or scars. Looking at her, Brenda thought that maybe now her life could finally go back to normal. But when she was 4 months old, her daughter developed a high fever and was rushed to the hospital. Doctors diagnosed her with bacterial meningitis. She had to stay in the hospital for 2 weeks. During that time, she had several surgeries, and unfortunately, she was left with hearing impairments. When her daughter recovered, Brenda promised to do anything to make her happy, so she fulfilled every wish that little Emily had. As the years went by, Emily grew up into a beautiful young woman. She was smart, talented, and kind. Brenda was proud of the woman she had raised, but she was worried about what other people would think of her. So when Emily graduated from high school and told her mother she planned to join the army, Brenda panicked. "You're so beautiful, sweetie. But you know, with your condition, you won't get in. Those scars, they will bother you a lot," she said. "Mom, I don't care what people think of me." "This is my dream," Emily replied, hugging her. "Besides, if you weren't scared to let them see you, you wouldn't be scared to let them see me either." And against her mother's wishes, Emily joined the army. 5 years later, she came back home on vacation. She was wearing a tight dress and high heels. Brenda couldn't help but worry about her daughter's choice of clothing. She knew those tight dresses would leave marks on her body. "Emily, why are you wearing such tight clothes? You know, you're so beautiful. But those scars," she started. "Mom, please stop. I'm tired of hearing it. Those scars are part of me. I'm a soldier, not a fashion model. And besides, I love this dress," Emily said, smiling. Just then, the doorbell rang and Brenda opened it. She froze. Standing in front of her was a man in uniform. He was tall and handsome, and he looked at Emily with admiration. He was clearly her biggest fan. "Hi, ma'am. Are you Emily's mom?" he asked. "Yes, I am. I'm here to pick her up. We have orders to report back to the base." Oh, okay," stuttered Brenda. As soon as the door closed behind them, Emily turned to the soldier. "So, where are we going?" she asked nervously. The soldier blushed. Nowhere. I was just admiring your tattoo." "My tattoo?" Emily touched her arm and realized she was still wearing her long-sleeved shirt. She quickly pulled it up to reveal a beautiful black butterfly tattoo on her arm. It was right where her old scar used to be. "Wow, it's beautiful," the soldier admitted. "I had no idea soldiers were allowed to get tattoos." "They are, as long as they aren't offensive," Emily explained. "And I can't believe I'm saying this, but actually, it was my mom who convinced me to get it. She was worried that I'd be ashamed of my scar, so she suggested covering it up." The soldier nodded, understandingly. "Yeah, my mom was the same way. She was worried that I'd be laughed at for my scars, so she made me promise to never get a tattoo." "So that's why you're here," Emily said, smiling. "Actually, no. I'm here because I can't stop thinking about your tattoo. I want to freeze it in ice water." "Can I touch it?" he asked hopefully. Emily burst out laughing. "Sorry, but no, you can't. It's just paint. If you want, I can draw it on your arm." The soldier looked disappointed. "Oh, okay. Well, thanks, anyway," he mumbled. As they stood there awkwardly, Brenda came out of the kitchen with 2 cups of coffee. "Here you go, honey. And, soldier, right?" "Yes, ma'am," he replied. "Call me Brenda, and you can call me Emily," she added with a smile. "Okay, Brenda, Emily," the soldier repeated. He took a sip of the coffee and winced. "This is delicious, Brenda. You're a great cook," he lied. "Thank you," she said, beaming. Suddenly, Emily put her hand on his arm and asked, "Hey, remember what I said about my butterfly tattoo being just paint?" "Yeah," the soldier replied. "Well, why don't you prove it?" she challenged. The soldier was confused. "What do you mean? If you really want to freeze my tattoo, go ahead." "It's just paint, remember," she said with a smirk. The soldier hesitated for a moment, but then he reached out and grabbed her arm. He held it under cold water for a full minute, but the tattoo didn't seem to be fading. I don't understand," he stammered. "What?" Brenda exclaimed. "Is that your tattoo?" "No, ma'am, it's her real skin," the soldier said, pointing at Emily. "She doesn't have a scar anymore. It's a miracle." Brenda gasped. She couldn't believe her eyes. All this time she had worried about her daughter's scars, but somehow she had managed to hide this one. "How's this possible?" she whispered. "I don't know," Emily shrugged. "But I'm glad you're finally seeing what I've known all along. My scars don't define me." Brenda hugged her daughter tightly. "I'm sorry, Emily. I shouldn't have judged you. You're right. Your scars don't define you. I just wanted to protect you." "I know, Mom. And I forgive you, but please promise me you won't worry about my scars anymore." "I promise," Brenda said, tears streaming down her face. From that day on, Brenda and Emily had a much closer relationship. Brenda learned to accept her daughter's scars and to love her for who she was.